Hey! Don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon. Welcome to Kids Stay Home.
Are you ready, everybody? This is the Elbow Show. This is the Elbow Show. We'll tell you what you want to know about the body. This is the Elbow Show. It's not just about the elbow. It's also about the head, the shoulders, the knees, and the toes.
So I'm going to be talking about true ribs and floating ribs. True ribs are the ones that connect from our backs all the way to our sternum right here. Yes, they connect all the way there. And then we have floating ribs, which only connect to the back. And then they're floating in our bodies, just floating there, hanging out, you know. Yeah, so true ribs and floating ribs. Now we sometimes talk about the ribs as the rib cage because the ribs together form a structure that could look like a cage. But you know, when I think about a cage, I think of a blah blah blah. I think about a sad little bird that's whistling a sad song inside the cage. So some other folks call the rib cage a rib basket, which then makes me think of things like apples and eggs, and I could put things that I like inside the basket. So, you know, maybe you can think about which one you like, rib cage or rib basket, or maybe there's something else, another way you like to talk about your ribs. We don't know what the professor of dance is going to make us do later on, so let's just get ourselves warmed up, okay? So we put our hands on our ribs to remind ourselves where they are, and then you're going to sit down somewhere comfortable and balance. We're going to move our ribs side to side. Yeah. Side to side. And then we can bring our ribs forward and back. So forward and back. And having our arms there and our hands, having our hands on our ribs just helps us to remember, yeah? Side to side, and forward and back. Let me see, how are you doing over there? Okay, looks like you're all warmed up. Shall we go look for the professor of dance? Okay. So we're gonna see the professor of dance. What is our question for today? The question for today is, why does it feel like our rib cage is getting bigger when we breathe in and somehow smaller when we breathe out? You know, when we did the breathing exercise, I could really feel my rib cage becoming bigger and smaller. I suppose the professor of dance will have the answer for us. Knock, knock.
Hi!
Hi, Professor of Dance. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Are you ready for the question of the day? Now, why does it feel that my rib cage is getting bigger when I breathe in and smaller when I breathe out?
When we breathe in, we are taking more air into our lungs. Our lungs are housed by our rib cage, which we can feel under our skin. Our rib cage does grow bigger when we breathe in, and it shrinks when we breathe out. That's because there's more air in our lungs and then less air in our lungs. There are muscles between our ribs, and they make our rib bones move up and out when we breathe in. And when we breathe out, the rib bones move down and in with the help of these muscles. Because our rib bones move, the space in our rib cage increases when we breathe in, and it decreases when we breathe out.
Ah, that's why it feels bigger and smaller.
Yeah, The rib bones don't grow bigger, the bones stay the same size. It's the rib cage that expands and shrinks. Besides these muscles between our ribs, we also move our ribs with the help of our spine and its muscles. We can move our ribs from side to side, front and back, up and down, and sometimes when I move my ribs up and down, my shoulders start to move too. And we can move our ribs all around and get our whole body helping.
Wait a minute. This is like the helicopter. Maybe this is the ribocopter?
Yeah, I have a new dance move for the ribs and it has its own pun too. Are you ready? I'm calling this dance move the ribbon. Yep. So, I move my ribs in a figure of 8. I go front to the side, back, and back to the center, and then I go to the other side and kind of draw a circle on the other side. If I do that a little bit, that's the figure of 8. And then after I draw my first figure of 8, I'm going to go back to the center and I'm going to go back to one side, back to the center, and then back to the other side. So like I'm drawing a ribbon with my ribs. Going around center, and back, center, and back to the other side, and center. Ribbon.
Such a great dance move.
Yes.
I hope the kids at home managed to learn the ribbon.
I always have so much fun chatting with you and showing you some of my new dance moves.
Alright, Professor of Dance, thank you so much. See you next time.
Thank you for dancing. Bye-bye.
That's all we have for you today with the Elbow Show, where we talked about our ribs. Thank you for watching, and if you do have any questions about the ribs or the arms or the head, feel free to let us know. Yeah, just send us a little message, ask us your questions, and we'll try to have them answered the next time. Or you can also send us videos of yourself doing any of these dance moves. Alright, until then, bye-bye!
Hey kids, if you are inspired by today's video and decide to make something, anything, share it with us with the hashtag 3pumpkins and stand a chance to be featured in our next video. See you next time. Bye.